Okay, they don't want to switch. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. No, I can't. I don't have the energy like crazy. But hello, welcome to Xbox International podcast. I almost said it in Espanol because I was hanging out with the guys yesterday. We had ecstasy there. But anyway, welcome to Xbox International podcast. Today we got a very hot topic we're gonna talk about. It's probably gonna take most of the show and excited to be here. Unfortunately, Crazy couldn't make it. He's out. He's being international himself. He's flying around, uh, prisoner still, but at least they let him out now. But how's it going? Let's start and let's introduce our captain, Silent Cypher. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's it's been a really quiet week, and so I've gotten to just kind of hang out and just chill and just have some
Wait,
zen time.
you're good? You're not ready to leave? Jump the ship? Jump the plane?
Oh yeah. I mean, our name change is happening here in the next week, but that's no that's neither here nor there, right? No, I'm good. I'm good. I am watching all the dumpster fires happen on Twitter, and I am having a blast playing Brotato and just chilling and just watching everyone lose their collective minds over the last couple days.
All right, and our most famous crew member and the insider, Plume. Plume, how you doing? What's going on?
Uh, I'm good. It's been a wild week. I'm tired. I've never been this deep in the rabbit hole on Twitter and social media, and I realized I never want to go back to the Twitter rabbit hole. So I've retired from that. I was the first day or so that these rumors hit. I was in there, and at this point, I'm just gonna be just very calm on Twitter and just tweet out the random thing here and there.
They broke your spirits.
Oh, my spirits are destroyed over the last 2 weeks or last couple of days.
Oh wow. Well, we have a guest today. Well, kind of more like an
Family.
extended crew member, family. Yes, from Xbox International in Espanol. Oh wow. Hold on a second. I actually forgot to add you in the. in the sorry,
Oh,
we had a little conversation before the. Here, I'll do this. I'll replace you with.
this is where I pull my inner crazy
No.
Louie and I go, Sourblow, Sourblow.
Oh come on. Okay. Let's.
Jeez.
Jesus. Sorry about that. Silent. Here, I'll put you in. What you been playing?
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I mentioned, I've been playing a bunch of Brotato. That's been a hell of a game. I've been having a lot of fun with that stupid thing. It's cool, it's a combination between like Binding of Isaac meets Vampire Survivors. And so I've been having a lot of fun with that. Like it's got a really cool visual style to it. The weapons, everything's really good. It's got that same like loop, that same game loop, like Vampire Survivors, where it's like it's constantly pulling you back in to do another round, another wave, and it's been freaking awesome. Um, besides besides that, I don't think I've actually been playing anything else this week. That's the main thing. Oh no, you know what? I take it back. Since we talked last, I beat Mafia 1 and I think I'm right at the end of Mafia 2. So I've been kind of playing around here and there where I can, but yeah, it's been a good time, man.
Okay, we need to talk after you beat Mafia 2.
Okay.
I want to know what you think about it.
Okay.
But okay, I think now I have it. ASCAP Gaming, yes. From the Xbox International Espanol. How you doing? Welcome back. You've been here before. Are you gonna play the guitar for us today?
No.
Not. Come on.
No, yet.
When we're gonna hear you?
When Guitar Hero comes back, maybe.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm with Plum. I mean, like I feel drained. My energy is completely gone. I mean, like the days has been really really crazy, and uh, it's taking out of our energy and our minds at the moment. So it's just crazy out there. But I mean, I've been productive at the moment. So I'm playing Suicide Squad.
Nice.
Kills the Justice League. It's awesome. I mean, I'm having a great time with this game. It's so great. I mean, like it's amazing because how well it's performing right now, and I mean, it has been well optimized, and it seems, I mean, like across platforms has been really well done. I mean, like it's a well done product.
So it's not as bad as some people are making it out to be, is what I'm understanding. Because I've seen a lot of people with
No,
your opinion that's a lot of fun, and it definitely looks like a game I want to play.
Mm.
yep, yeah. I mean, it's definitely that kind of game. I mean, it's that type of game. I mean, you're just want to have fun. I mean, like I'm
Yeah.
not looking for like the obscure lore or to be comic DC comic accurate. I mean, like I know that it exists within the Arkham universe, so the same. I mean, it's the same Batman, the same Harley Quinn, some Arkham characters popping up. But I mean, like the game is so well done in terms of the events and the random encounters that you can find that is actually fun to play. So that has been my experience. I mean, like it's what I've been living through this game. But mostly playing that, trying to play Final Fantasy VII the remastered on the sides because I'm getting ready for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and uh, I'm gonna be playing tomorrow maybe Helldivers for a little bit.
All right. Well, Plume, we didn't get what you were playing. What were you playing?
I'll be honest, this week's been not very much playing of anything. Just finishing up Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is a phenomenal game. But other than that, I really haven't had time to get into a game
You've
and
been
haven't had
pretty
the
busy.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been busy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, normally around this time, Crazy Lou would say, "Wait, well, you guys are not gonna ask me what I've been playing." Well, I've been playing some Mass Effect 2, and it's been awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I like since I was started playing the first one, I'm like, why haven't I played this trilogy? I don't know why, since it's the style of game that I like. But yeah, been having a fun time with it, to be honest. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's time to start the show. I mean, for flight itinerary, we kind of everyone knows what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about what's going on. What's this massive news
What's
that kind of could change the landscape of gaming, really.
what's that news? What are you talking about? Give him a sneak peek of the chaos.
Sneak peek. What do you mean? You got a trailer there? You got something going on?
Ooh, do you have a trailer?
No, no. But do you have the in-flight announcement? Are you ready?
I might in a second.
Guys,
That's what we
bear
call
with us.
deflection.
We're not even ready for. I blame it on ASCAP. ASCAP. Sorry.
Oh, don't blame ASCAP. He's our guest. Don't do that. He's family.
He doesn't play the guitar for us. If he would
Oh,
play the guitar,
Oh, come
like
on, man.
we would we would be better prepared and we will have more what's the word? More energy. All right.
Okay,
right.
alrighty.
That took
All
long.
So I'm getting old, damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, Sour has turned on that subscribe button. Please stow your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Also, make sure that you've hit that like and subscribe button as we take off. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, leaving your room to become a complete disaster to the point where you have cockroaches climbing over your arms and legs is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about this flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, let's begin with I guess we don't even need to like give like a deep introduction, like a deep run through. I guess everyone that's here mostly know what's going on. It's been rumors after rumors. It started with Hi-Fi Rush going to PS5. Then it went Sea of Thief. Then I believe we heard Indiana Jones, Starfield,
Gears, Halo,
Gears, Halo,
all the catalog.
Forza.
Forza. Then we heard changes in the Game Pass. What else we heard? We heard so many. There's so many things that we heard.
Yeah, we my Xbox branding being changed to Microsoft Gaming, so they're killing the brand, they're killing the console. Uh,
The Microsoft
Microsoft
division is taking over.
taking over. Xbox being full third party. What else? Uh, Xbox leadership being fired.
Oh yeah.
And then some of the person that initiated this, and then we heard, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, everything's fine, which that's kind of weird. So what I'm gonna do is to start things off. I'm just gonna go to each one of you guys, and then I want to hear your general opinion, and then we're gonna go from there. Because I want to move a little bit more forward, talk about something like a little bit more like into what the ramifications could be. Because most people are talking about what this could mean, like only like to the Xbox brand, but I kind of want to also take it a little bit further to kind of like give it a little more content and give it a little different conversation because this is almost the same conversation everywhere. So I'll start with you, Plume, since you got more information on everything that's going on.
I got nothing. I had no information. I'm not even going to joke about having information on what's going on because that's been what has been happening over these last what is it? When did this news come out? Sunday, I guess.
Sunday.
When it all broke Sunday night for
Sunday night.
If we're tracking it from originality, it was like 3 to 4 weeks ago because that's when we started hearing about even the possibility of those games, those initial games going over.
True.
So.
Yeah. No, so for me, I've put all my takes and stuff on my channel, and but now like there's just it's so hard to comment on really what's happening. You have just the insane division in the community that where everyone is like losing their minds, and you have other people that are being level-headed and or even just waiting to see when stuff comes out, and but basically we don't know anything until Xbox talks about all of these rumors is the conclusion I've come to. Because when all the stuff came out on Sunday, I think like generally nobody really everyone saw all of these headlines, all like you had Tom Warren reporting it, which is what do you think about the media? What do you think about Tom Warren and The Verge? If someone like he is reporting stuff on this, there's probably something to these rumors. You had Jez reporting it. You had all of the big names reporting it. So that really started fanning the flames. But if you actually went in and read those articles, it was just them saying that Xbox was considering things. And as we know, companies consider a lot of things. And even myself, when I saw those headlines on Sunday night from The Verge and stuff, I had definitely an emotional reaction to it. But now we are going on Wednesday and things have just gotten out of control. People are literally trying to find anything to push some more rumors about stuff that just isn't true. More likely than not, like today, the branding thing, like I think that's just an error. I don't think that's anything, but everyone is trying to like fan that into something bigger than it is. And it's just it's an insane week of rumors, and it's not going to stop until Xbox comes out. That's where Xbox really messed up. If they messed up of anything this week, it's I think just not coming out earlier to just say something, right? To kind of reduce this from happening, because now there's going to be people Googling stuff about this for months and years, and it's always going to be there. So the damage, I think, for the Xbox brand is probably is there, but we'll see what happens when they do come out and talk. But yeah, it's been just a wild week. I don't even know where to go because we all know what's going on. There's another thing that's popping up here about Toys for Bob that everyone is talking about, but like you go in, you read the article, you don't really know what's happening. They've laid off some employees, but I'm pretty sure it depends if that's like part of the 1900 employees, and now people are saying they've closed the studio, but it doesn't actually say that in the article. Could just be moving them to a smaller studio. So it's just continuing and continuing, and I don't think any of this is going to be solved until we actually know what's going on next week. So I don't know. I'll bounce off of you guys what your guys' thoughts are and stuff, but that's how I'm thinking about it right now.
All right, let's go with ASCAP to see if he brings a different perspective into what was going on and everything.
Uh,
Your general
definitely,
thoughts.
yeah, definitely there is something that is gonna happen. I mean, that's positive. Now, how
Yeah.
serious, how bad it is, we don't know. Nobody knows. But something is gonna happen. Something is gonna change. Just because what Plum was saying. I mean, Microsoft, Xbox leadership, they have been dead silent on this one, and they know that people are talking about this. They know that the everybody this you know, building narratives about the branding and what is going on and what is going to truly happen. Uh, I'm with Plume in that sense that they should have come earlier. I don't know if this started like a rumor. I don't know if this started like a leak because some people have been saying that their Xbox executives has been leaking information. We don't know. I mean, like it's so many people saying a lot of things that it's hard to believe even even media at this moment. So uh, because I mean, so much chaos, and what really worries me is the silence from Phil Spencer, from him basically, because I'm not gonna put this on Sarah Bond or Aaron. I mean, he's the CEO. He could say something to to put at ease any rumors or leaks or anything until they get prepared to whatever they're gonna do and they're gonna announce next week. So we need to. I mean, for sure, we need to wait until Monday. Everything else is just speculation. I mean, it's just us assuming things based on the information that is flying around. But I mean, like, who can positive confirm these rumors, leaks, or whatever they are? I mean, like, what I feel is like some content creators are trying to take the spotlight right now to monetize. That's what I believe in. That's how I feel. I feel disappointed with a lot of people right now. People that I've been admiring for years, people that I've been respecting for years, just taking the opportunity to take the spotlight and come up with something. So people are, building narratives that something is gonna be, it's gonna come true because so many people saying a lot of things. Some of those things are become true, and they're gonna take the spotlight. So who knows?
Yeah, real quick. Adidas 20 with a $5 super chat. He says, "This news reminds me of December 31st, 1999. I was told the world would end."
Okay. Okay, so real quick, first off, Adidas, thank you so much for the support. But real quick, I got to be real with you on this one because, like, I remember that, and I
I
remember
remember
how
that too.
chaotic people were getting. I remember actually just before the 2000 Switch happened, uh, Elf Bowling came out on the PC. Okay, I don't know if anyone here ever played Elf Bowling, but Elf Bowling was one of those things where it suddenly went viral. Everyone went nuts over this thing. Everyone was downloading it. And suddenly there was this massive scare that it was a virus and that it was part of the 2K Switch and it was going to wreck all of the people's computers and brick everyone's computers and like all sorts of stuff too. Like talk about a time, right, where like everyone was getting up in their feels, freaking out about news. I think it's funny though because like it was simpler times because you didn't have something like a Twitter or a Facebook or wherever to jump onto and see like a bunch of people freaking out about it. It was literally just the details you heard from those news medias and that was like it. This is a whole different cluster. Like it is mind numbing how wild it's gotten.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all.
Well, no. Since we have you, why don't you chime in and let us know your thoughts on the news and everything. Your general thoughts.
Man, you know, if you would have told me that this was the flaming bag of shit sitting at my door Sunday morning when I woke up, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, I didn't figure that this was going to happen, that people were going to start just flipping out. And I think the biggest thing is, like, we have seen big names that panicked out about this, that have just gone pretty much AWOL. And it's like every time you see them out there, you're like, are they okay? Like, I'm not going to name names, but most of the people here know who I'm talking about. And it's just one of those things where, like, the people that in the past we've trusted as having those connections for this information, it feels like a lot of those people are utilizing that for engagement. And it feels like everything that we're seeing online right now is not sincere or honest or earnest in any way. It's like everyone's getting their 15 minutes of fame. And whether or not someone has facts on this or has a source or whatever, like, I don't care at this point. I think all of us can agree next Tuesday or whenever it is that they're going to announce this stuff, that's when I'll find out about it. There is no reason for me to be worrying about it for a couple reasons. One, this, unless there's a massive change, this doesn't affect where my gaming library is, where I enjoy playing my video games. It might affect where I purchase in the future, but I still have such a massive library of games I'm still going to play. Like, this is not going to affect me in the short term for these decisions. Whatever happens, whatever settles out of it, it is what it is. But I'll listen when Tuesday comes around and they actually tell us things, instead of freaking out about it over and over again. Like, we'll have the conversations in the back, and we've been having these, right? Like, off the air, we've been having a lot of conversations about everything going on. And, you know, it's good. It's good to chat with your friends, hang out, talk about it and stuff like that. But to get a bunch of engagement and, like, feed off of this mess is gross, and I don't like it. Like, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I've enjoyed bashing people on Twitter for it when it shows up. People who are going out there literally just being snake oil salesmen, being like, oh, I know the truth. I'm going to reveal all the things. Like, shut up. Come back on Tuesday, find out about it like we all will, and just leave it at that. But they can't help themselves. They got to get that, like, 5 cents off of Twitter engagement.
Yeah. Well, real quick, before I give my 2 cents, we have a $5 super chat from Mr. John Dark, and it reads, when you don't have power on PlayStation, the next big thing is farming the death of Xbox. Port beggings await. Code Veronica sucks.
God.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No,
he said Code Veronica
right.
is the go, but
no, you read it right. Thank you, Mr. Dark.
And where is it? Okay, we have Joe with a 4 month. Thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. And he says, I'm not expecting full answers next week. It will be PR and corporate talk. Also, Lou, te extraño, papi. Oh, Lou.
Yeah. And
somebody
you know
misses
what?
you.
To speak to that too, I agree. Like, I mean, I don't think we're going to get a full roadmap of this is what our intentions are. Like, let's be realistic. It's a company. They're not going to tell us everything, whether it's exactly what we want to hear or not at this point. Like, things will change as time goes on too. They will have certain things they won't tell us right now. That's what it is. But as a consumer, if this scares you, and you don't feel comfortable hanging in the ecosystem because, like, these rumors and stuff are scaring you, then take care of it. Go somewhere else. Like, you are a consumer at the end of the day. You have the choice to shop wherever you want to play the games. Like, I'm not going to tell you, no, you've got to be on Xbox. If you want to be on PlayStation or PC or Nintendo or whatever, like, you do you. That's fine. I'm going to play the games where I've always played them, which is wherever they are. If I'm interested in a game, I'm going to play them where they are. If I'm not interested, I'm not going to spend for the system. And that's where I'm at right now. Like I've got a PC, I've got an Xbox, I've got a ROG Ally, I've got enough hardware in my system to play whatever I want to play where I want to play it. And that's what you as a consumer have the option to do. If this scares you, if it upsets you or whatever, what these guys are doing, you speak with your wallet.
Yeah, to add to that, I think like one of the things too with these rumors was I even knee jerk reacted to this when they first hit. Was if you have if you're primarily on the Xbox console, the knee jerk reaction was, what does this mean for the Xbox console? There, everybody was doom and glooming that it was the end, that they were just trying to phase it out, that they were trying to cut it. And then a couple days later, then there's new rumors that they have already are in the works for new hardware. And Jez even talked about before these big rumors broke that they had greenlit multiple hardware SKUs or multiple pieces of hardware at Microsoft. So when the rumors come out, the knee jerk, like I said, I was a victim of it too on Twitter, thinking these things like, what's going to happen to my digital library on Xbox? I have 300 and some games locked in my digital library on Xbox. If they phase out the console, are they going to force me to access that through the cloud, through another means? Like, not all those games are available on PC, right? So it probably would be through the cloud. And I can get how that's like for people scary. They don't want to do that. They don't want to have to lose the main place that they play. But the reactions are like, if you just sit back and think about it, they're not going to cut off the console. Reality is that's just probably somebody doom and glooming the situation. And going forward, there's a high likelihood that they're making more, and that there's more evidence to the contrary, I think, right now out there. If you just like logically think about it, people are like, third party support. Oh no, they're going to lose third party support. Well, look what's happened this generation, right? They've third party supports increased. There's Persona on Xbox. There's Final Fantasy games coming over that have never been there, and they're still tracking behind Xbox One in sales. So what's indicating here that all of a sudden they're just going to cut third party support going forward? So I think there's just a lot of not sitting back and logically thinking about what is truly going to happen, and then just knee jerk reactions out there. But I get the initial reaction, like I said, in the first day or so when you're seeing the biggest outlets reporting this doom and gloom stuff, people are just going to lose their minds.
Yeah, definitely. Like, like everyone said, these are just rumors. Like, all we can do is like speculate from all the news that we have. Personally, my opinion, I would say, wait and see at least what is the messaging before you make any decision that you might regret. If you don't like the messaging when come next week, then if you decide to move to your move platform, like, it's fine. Like, game where you feel that you're getting what you want. Like, if you feel there's a better deal elsewhere, then by all means, like, go to another platform. But um, I think they're definitely making another console. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe we saw the reports, we saw the information, so I don't believe they're gonna just scratch the consoles. So we're definitely getting at least one more console. So that rumor that they're going to eliminate the consoles, I mean, eventually I do believe that that's gonna happen to all the platform, but I don't think just yet. Now, regarding what's going to go to what platform or not, for me personally, it doesn't really affect me, but I do feel for, like, if you are like an Xbox console player and you bought the console and you wanted, like, you need something to feel attracted to it. Now, what is gonna be? Maybe they're changing direction. It might not be exclusive. It might just be full, like, you're gonna get more Game Pass games. You're gonna get better games. You're gonna get games more frequent. I don't know what it is. It's up to you if that value is enough for you to stay in the system. So that's personally what I believe. Now, before we move the conversation forward, um, speaking about being transparent, because Xbox has not been transparent, but XBI podcast does have to be a little transparent. So
Uh,
currently, right now, this has nothing to do with what's going on. It's just it's funny that it's kind of hit this week, but I started doing some projects on the side, which is gonna take more time of my personal life. So I won't be able to do the flight tickets and the monthly um, handbooks for a while. So for the channel members, if you're not getting them, it's because of that. We will sit down and think of a way to compensate you guys for not receiving that. I guess I got to sit down with the guys and see what we can offer. Um, but again, we do this because we like it, and you guys support kind of help us keep this going. But I just thought I would say that. The other thing is next week is Valentine's Day. We won't have an episode. However, I did do an interview with someone that worked for Microsoft, and it's regarding Copilot. It's very interesting. I do recommend you guys see it. I will try to air it at the same time on a podcast. Please don't bash. It has nothing to do with this movement, and it's very good for even for your like everyday life. Copilot. I know some people are scared of AI, but I recommend at least watching the full interview, listening to everything. There's even like a demonstration in the video, and it might be interesting for you. But let's go back to what's going on. I would like to place the following scenario to you guys because, again, going back to all this is all speculation. We can speculate whatever we want, but I want your guys' opinion on the different scenario. Let's say scenario one: everything goes, all games go to PlayStation, all games go to Nintendo. How do you see things moving forward? What would be how would you guys see it work? And then scenario number two, let's say they announce that there's only several like a few games maybe just moving over, and maybe there's uh I don't know, like maybe like a light few changes. But scenario one is all the games going to all the other platform, and changes to Game Pass. I forgot to say in the first scenario. So scenario one is kind of like you know the one that everyone is afraid of. Scenario two is a little bit more light. I would say scenario three, nothing happens, but I don't think nothing will happen. Something is going to happen. But let's start with you, Aska. What do you think about these
I don't want to.
scenarios?
I don't want to. I don't want to share what I think. I mean,
Let's hear it.
yes, yesterday was so heat up. I mean, like people was. Listen, uh, this is obviously we are. I'm assuming this is uh, to yesterday I read a comment like you should say and specify that this is your opinion and not establishing this as a fact. Okay, this is my opinion on the subject, and
Thank
I'm
Oh,
assuming.
I
So
didn't know you had to specify when you're talking about your
yeah, so
opinion that it
I need
is an
to add the
opinion.
disclaimer now. Listen,
Wait, what happened yesterday? What did I? Is there going to be a?
oh, so I officially came up as a pony in
Oh, okay, okay.
Eclipse International in Espanol.
Wait, you
So
aren't you a pony?
oh, come on, man.
We should reenact it on
I,
the English version so
listen,
I can
this
understand it.
this is incredible. I mean, I like video games. I love video games. I don't care the platform. I mean, I'm not like I was saying staying last night that usually people like us that we have this hobby and we are trying to create content and we are not a casual gamer. I mean, like usually we have one, two, three different platforms Uh, uh, I mean, like I love video games. I love stories well written. I love fun gameplay. That's what it drives me. But besides that, having made that distinction, and the disclaimer is, this is what I, if that happens, uh, maybe just scenario A, Xbox just releasing or publishing some titles, two, three titles into different platforms. Uh, I believe, I strongly believe that that could be driven by a financial factor. And I'm not saying that Xbox doesn't have money or Microsoft is going out on bankruptcy or anything. I'm not saying that. It's just like they made an important investment on Activision that they want to exploit that investment and take out of it the most that they can. So what I see is that could be like a trial. They're gonna, like an MVP. It's gonna be an MVP to what could become the model of Microsoft gaming. And here, I believe that that could be being pushed by people above Phil Spencer. I'm talking about the board. I'm talking about Satya, the CEO of Microsoft. We need to remember that Xbox is a unit inside a bigger organization that is Microsoft. So maybe they're pushing because they want to maximize their revenue streams and get more profit out of this investment. I mean, like, that's the problem. The Activision Blizzard was such a huge investment from Microsoft that they, I believe, I mean, I'm thinking, like, assuming like the board and the investors, they want to take the most of out of it. Um, so it, that could be the situation. I don't think that Xbox is gonna be a third party out of the blue, and I don't think that they're on Monday they're gonna be announcing, like, okay, we're gonna publish all our games are gonna be available in other platforms. No, but I think that there is gonna be a transition to that goal. That's gonna be the end goal. Um, there is something else that last week there we had the financial reports from Microsoft's CFO, not the Xbox CFO, but Amy Hood. And something that was highlighted in the report is that the trending or the projection is that the hardware sales are going to decrease year by year. So they are anticipating, or this is my opinion, they could be anticipating a scenario where they need to publish these games in other platforms because there's not going to be enough sales of consoles to have Game Pass available across more people. So right now we have Game Pass only on Xbox consoles and PC. Uh, so that's what I believe. I believe this could be a movement, and they could start something uh, to maximize uh, uh, their profit and revenue streams. That's what I believe.
All right. Silent. What do you think about these scenarios?
Uh, so you may have to remind me, but it's like if it's all of them, if it's a few of them, or if it's none of them. Is that what
Well,
we're going with?
scenario one, let's say mostly everything you heard is true.
Okay. Okay.
Scenario two is like a more light approach. Like, let's say maybe a little change here, a few games here and there, maybe like live service games. Let's say, for example, yeah,
So
something like that.
yeah, so I think, and we'll go ahead and do this just like ASCAP. My personal opinions have no insight or any detail as to what Microsoft is doing. These are my personal opinions. Damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. So I think if like everything we've heard happened,
But sorry to interrupt you real quick. By the way,
you
ask
son
up.
of a.
Sorry, you didn't tell me. Are you fine with both? Or are you fine with one? Like, I want to be
Honestly,
clear
yeah.
on that.
Honestly, I would be fine only with some titles.
With some, okay.
That would be like acceptable. I mean, like, and what I would like to see is some respect to the Xbox fans that are supporting the brand. So establishing some ground rules on how they're going to publish or how they're going to decide to publish these games to other platforms. I still believe exclusives sells consoles. I believe that's that's something more factual. I believe that exclusive games drives more sales.
Okay. All right. Going back to silence. Sorry to interrupt you. What were
God,
you saying, sir?
we don't even have Crazy Louie here, and I feel like you're like you're testing the waters just like him. But no, so here's the thing, right? Is like if everything we've heard, if everything that we've heard so far happens, like yes, are there things that I think are a detriment for the company? Yeah. Yeah, like it makes sense. Will they still make money if they did something like this? Yes. Because again, going back to what Askeb's saying, if you shift Game Pass to these different ecosystems and you get more people into that, you get more people buying these games or trying these games, it is still going to benefit them. But I do think, like he's saying, exclusives do to an extent still sell consoles. I think exclusives as we know them from like back in the days have obviously changed quite a bit from what they are now. It's the same thing as like physical media, right? You go, you buy a game right now. Usually the game is not on the content you just bought. It's like maybe a couple hundred megabytes and you download the rest from the cloud. Physical media is not the same as what we grew up with, just like exclusives are at this point. And that broke what? That broke better part of like a decade ago when Microsoft said, hey, our games are going to be coming to PC as well, right? So we saw that happen, and we've seen Sony do the same thing recently as well. The only one who hasn't dove into the swimming pool when it goes to this is Nintendo. They're the only ones that haven't really dipped their toes. They've done a couple mobile games and stuff, but that's it. So I think honestly, realistically, like the exclusive question or conversation is just different now than it used to be anyways. Um, I think if everything that we heard happened, it probably would. I mean, we're seeing it actively on Twitter right now, right? Some folks are losing their crap. Now, again, some folks are losing crap because of engagement. But I do think there are some folks out there that are literally just, bent out of shape by the situation. Um, if it's a few games or if it's like most of the games, again, it goes back to me as a consumer. I will be a selfish guy about this. I've got my library. Even if Microsoft, even if Xbox ecosystem goes away, it's not going away tomorrow. I still have access to that stuff. Like we're not talking about an embracer occurrence where all of a sudden they shit the bed and everything starts getting closed. It's Microsoft. It's not going to just go away immediately. Same thing would be with Sony or with Nintendo. So, with that being said, like as a consumer, again, I'm still going to sit there and I'm going to play the games where I enjoy them the most or where I have access to them. Like that's what I will do. Do I have a preference? Yes. I always have since like early Xbox Live days preferred that ecosystem when it goes to the online side of things and the user interface. Everyone's got their personal preference, but I preferred it. I enjoyed it. Um, if games go over to the other systems, I personally, if it's a few or whatever, like I don't care because that's going to benefit them as a whole, as a company over time. Because if those games go there and more people get engaged with those games and we start to see more Game Pass purchases or sales of those games, that's going to help the ecosystem. That's going to continue to give the ecosystem more money. If that's what they're going to do, then so be it. Like, exclusives, again, are not the same that they used to be. It's just what it is. Now we get to the whole situation of, like, if nothing happens, there's no way nothing's happening, right? Like, Phil Spencer came out, made a message on there, said, hey, we will tell you things next week. If they didn't have anything to say, they wouldn't be coming out next week to say something, because they're busy. They've got jobs. So if this was a plan and they have things to announce, they're coming out to say something. To the extent, to whatever severity or extent it is, who knows? Like,
I
at
just
this
thought of
point,
something. Imagine
what?
if next week was April, the beginning of April.
That would, yeah, yeah.
That
But again, and I mean, you know, if people don't agree with me on this or not, like, that's fine. I don't care. Like, if you're on the same ecosystem as me and we can play games together, awesome. If not, we can still talk about video games. That doesn't change things for me that much. Like, if you play other games than I do, I'm not going to get bent out of shape over it. Like, I don't care. If I want to play the games, I'll play the games. Full stop. If I'm interested, I'll buy the console or I'll get them on PC or whatever. I'll play them wherever. I don't care. I have a preference. I don't have an allegiance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At the end of the day, it's a matter of preference. Maybe you feel more comfortable with this platform than the other one. Maybe you like more the control. Maybe you like more these features.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's a matter of preference. I mean,
Yeah,
but
and there's
we should
nothing
embrace
wrong with that.
gaming. Exactly. I mean, like, there is nothing wrong with that. So obviously, there is a lot of um, toxic behavior, especially in Twitter, because of the console wars. That's a public, a public stage where everybody says what they think. Others are just trolling. Yeah, like, for example, I mean, if you see my accounts, some of my comments could be coming from a truthful place, but some others are just trolling. I mean, like, who cares? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not a person. I don't consider myself to be a person of influence.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
like, I'm not trying to influence you. I mean, like, if you ask me for a recommendation, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on what I believe could you could get more benefit from. Like, for example, in Latin America, when someone asks me, like, hey, what console should I get? I say, like, you should get an Xbox. And you should pay for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That's the best deal ever. The consoles are crazy. The Xbox consoles are way less expensive here in Latin America than a PlayStation 5. Or if you like more family-friendly games, get a Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna give you an honest opinion if you come to me on that sense. But I mean, like, people are taking for granted everything that we're reading right now on social media. And I believe that's something that could be hurtful also for casual gamers that are looking at you like a person of influence.
Yeah. A lot of people out there right now are very much taking everything that's online as gospel. And I'm sorry, but, like, again, we've got these people out there that have these connections, stuff like that. You've heard things from them in the past. So you're going off that and being like, well, they said it and they've got a track record. So obviously this is a thing. It doesn't mean that they're always going to be right. And it also doesn't mean that they don't have ulterior motives. Like, at the same time, if things are quiet or if someone sees something, like, people in the chat, you guys right here, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, if it bleeds, it leads. That's a very popular one in news. And that's because if there's something like that just happened, that's why you always see news people right there at the scene of a crash or at the scene of, like, a robbery or something like that, because they know it's going to get them the most attention.
So,
Now,
Oh,
Again,
sorry.
like some of those folks can actually have some details and stuff. Some of these people might have actual facts. But the problem is everything we're seeing right now feels like it's very much engagement driven, not actual honesty and sincerity driven to get factual data out there. And that's why I say it, like, wait until next week, hear what they have to say, then make up your mind. And if you're a consumer that decides that's not your ecosystem anymore, you don't prefer what they say, that's what it is for you. For me, I still prefer the ecosystem and I still enjoy playing there. I've been playing there for 2 decades plus. I like it. But that being said, I will vote with my wallet if they do things I don't like, and I will let them know when I don't like things. Because I'm not loyal to a fault on those situations. I will pay for what I want and I won't pay for what I'm not interested in.
Yeah, that's the best way to vote with your wallet. But silent, both scenario. We're fine with both, or like ask up, or you're like ask up.
See, it's a rough one on it because it's like I really don't care if you're able to play those games again. If you can play those on the PlayStation or the Nintendo, you're still funding the ecosystem that I'm playing in. So at the end
Yeah,
of the day, that's still a net positive for me. Is it fun to blast some of these people that get really crap in line and become super like power fanboys about it when there is an exclusive? Yes. But that being said, if everything's everywhere, those people get shut up anyways. Because guess what? Like newsflash, again, exclusives are not what exclusives used to be. So those PlayStation games that are getting announced right now, those are going to PC. Just like the Xbox ones are going to PC, and likely some of these will go into the other ecosystems. The less the less fanboy fodder there is, I'm fine with. I really don't care. Like I'll play the games. I find it funny that people get bent out of shape as hard as they do. And I understand and appreciate, like, if you really like an ecosystem, I get it. I'm there with you.
yeah. Here's the thing. I thought it was gonna be a hot take. Maybe not as hot as I thought, but personally for me, like all all they have to do is you have to give Xbox users some sort of advantage. The advantage was most likely will continue to be Game Pass. I don't think that we heard rumors changes to Game Pass, but it could be some changes, but I don't think they're getting rid of it. If anything, I saw, um, I think it was today, they were bragging about Game Pass numbers with Power World and how successful it is. So I think Game Pass is definitely in their plans, and we also saw the marketing with the whole thing with what was it, GameSpot and all that. So definitely Game Pass is their plan, and I'm a huge fan of Game Pass. So as long as they provide me Game Pass, and if this move means more games coming into Game Pass, and maybe even like uh you can take more time to bring more quality games, which is something that a lot of people have been asking, then I don't have a problem if more people could play it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have the option to buy it at $70 or to use to play it with Game Pass. Um, I do think that you have to provide something else to like console players that only play on consoles, because at the end of the day, they're gonna you probably gonna kill the hardware faster than it should, probably, because I know eventually is eventually I believe the console is gonna be like um a niche thing where like only a few people are gonna have it, a couple millions, and most people will either go PC or there will be like an app. And I don't think this is only happening with like Xbox. This is eventually gonna happen to PlayStation, and I even think Nintendo is gonna get there sometime. I don't think immediately. Like they have way more time they can play around with that. But I think that's the future, honestly.
I have a counter question, but I'm gonna wait for all of you to give your opinion, and let's put a pin on the conversation about like we are okay with seeing this. So I have a counter question. Just I would like to get your opinion on that, but I'm gonna wait for that.
All right. Yeah, to end it, I'm fine with, like, you know, I'm always been fine with, more people playing the game. Would it be weird seeing Master Chief and a PlayStation and in Nintendo? Sure, it would be weird, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and
Is
doesn't
it
hurt me.
weird? Is it weird to see Master Chief in Fortnite? Yeah, but
Exactly.
we have it.
Yeah. So
Is it weird to see Banjo and
Rainbow
Kazooie
Six.
in Smash Bros? Yeah,
we have all of
we
that.
have it. Like, there's gonna be more of this like blurring of the lines, I think, as time goes on.
Yeah, and I do see, if this is the route, a lot of, like, what people call hardcore Xbox fans, they're probably gonna leave the brand. But at the same time, if you're truly a fan of Xbox games, you're going to purchase Xbox games, so you're still gonna support Xbox one way or another. And you know, you might not agree with this vision now, but if this vision is successful, guess what? PlayStation is going to continue to copy it because they're already copying everything Microsoft's doing. So they have to see something in it. So eventually we might see the gates open on that side too. So we'll see. That's what I think. Plume, you're the last one. I seen you taking some deep drinks. Are you drinking any alcohol today?
He's preparing
No,
himself.
tonight's a water night.
Oh, water night. All right.
I don't want to say anything stupid on. I'm just kidding. um, um, so I have what like how I feel about games going to PlayStation and Nintendo in general, and I also have like a response in terms of right now in this current situation, if Xbox does this, but I have like different trains of thought on this. So first of all, I mean, you can go to my channel and watch my videos. Everyone knows what I think about this. I don't care at all if somebody on PlayStation, somebody on Nintendo, somebody on PC gets to play the same game as me. I don't care. It could be all of the Xbox games. I just truly personally don't care because it doesn't take anything away from me. It doesn't, in fact, it probably adds things. It's probably, I always say it doesn't really add anything to me, but that's a lie. It does add things because we have crossplay now. So we have more people to play with a lot of these games. Like if Halo went to PlayStation, there will be more people playing Halo and the community would be bigger and the multiplayer matches would be found faster and the player pool would just overall be better, right? So I don't care. However, when it comes to Xbox right now, today, I do have an issue with them again with their marketing and communications and saying one thing and then doing another thing. If Phil Spencer at the Bethesda roundtable wouldn't have come out and said that these games are going to be exclusive to wherever Xbox Game Pass is, and I'm not talking about the case by case basis. I did a video going over how games like Hi-Fi Rush, I don't think are included in the case by case basis. Obviously, Starfield's not included because they came out and they plastered exclusive all over Starfield. So I do have a problem with that because they said one thing and then they're going to go and potentially do another thing. But that's only because it's just like I'm not okay with people deceiving people. That's the only reason. But I don't care if it does happen, if they come out and they explain it and they change their strategy as business. It is what it is. But if they would just go out and put it out there, they would be essentially lying. So, but in general, yeah, I don't care. I couldn't care less. Like even with like the rumors about Gears of War going over, I mean, hey, Gears of War is one of my favorite franchises. If it goes to PlayStation, it goes to the Switch, more people to play the game. So, and again, like Silent said, he's absolutely correct. It's more money into the Xbox ecosystem, which means that they get to make more games and they get to give us more content and it makes our experiences better. They get to improve the OS of the console. All these things will be better because more people are playing their games. So yeah, I don't care, but I just don't want them to lie to customers. Say one thing and do the other.
So essentially, what you're saying is you got no problem with like Crazy Lou like drinking a couple beers live, but you do have a problem when he says he can drink 150 beers and.
That's it. That is a great analogy.
Yeah, that works with me. I'll accept that. No, I agree with Plume fully, right? Is like the honesty is the big thing. Like if you're going to make these decisions and things happen, be transparent about it. Explain yourself. Don't bullshit me. Don't sell me something that it isn't. That's the big thing. Cuz again, that angers consumers more than anything. Is if you buy into something and then you find out it's completely not what that was. Like that's what angers consumers the most. Like if things change over time, things change. Again, physical media not the same as it is now. Stuff happens. But be honest, be transparent. Don't mislead the people that are paying you for that content.
Yeah. Real quick, Raichi with a two Canadian dollars says Game Pass Core is trash. I want great games with gold. Unfortunately, I think with what they were giving with with games with gold, I mean, who knows what's worse. But I'm gonna go to AskUp because I know AskUp had a question for us. I'm curious. What is your
So
question?
so just to clarify, I agree with 100% with all of you, and I don't I don't care as well. I mean, like I'm 100% with you, 100%. However, let me ask you a question. So, but it's a fact that Microsoft is not happy with how console sales are performing. That's a fact. I mean, they're not happy. They have said that in communications. Amy Hood said that last week in an interview. The reports that they're not happy with the sales of the console sales. The numbers don't. I mean, don't add up for them. I mean, it's not adding. And we know that the Xbox consoles are the main right now are the main channel where Xbox Game Pass is being distributed today, and well, PC Game Pass, but primarily the Xbox console is the main channel where the subscription are being sold today. That we can establish that as a fact, right? I
I
mean,
don't know
like,
if we have the
I mean,
breakdown of subscriptions per platform, but I'd have to look that up.
but I mean, like the mainstream is our consoles at the moment more than PC.
Yes,
So what?
For Game Pass, for the subscription. That is
yes,
the main offering
yeah.
from Xbox. I'm
yeah.
not talking about the games and sales of individual games in Steam. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about the position of the consoles.
Oh, for
So
people to the reason why people would buy the console, you're saying?
exactly.
Okay.
So right now we have other platforms, other competitors that are also offering subscription-like services. So we have PlayStation, you have the PlayStation Plus, and with all their tiers, but they're offering a similar service. Uh, we have Ubisoft Plus that are going to start offering also their premium service to so more publishers are adding up to start publishing and building their subscription service like a Netflix like a thing, you know? So we're going to see more and more and more of that. So if we don't care about seeing our exclusive first party games in other platforms, so what would be the main driver for a person that is going to, for a consumer to buy the console if they are going to get the game either way on other platforms? So I mean, like,
Well,
what is going to motivate that, and what is going to be the result of out of it?
all right. I'll go first since I'm always almost last. Personally, I believe the first thing is that I personally think that I'm gonna go back to something. I think personally something that might be going on also is that I believe that the Microsoft like team, like the Amy Hood and Satya Nadella, they don't really understand how the console market has worked because at the end of the day, like consoles have never like made like substantial like profit. Like usually, like I think the Xbox division have always to sell the console at a loss. What they make money is, this from the sales of the game, the service, and now the microtransactions, the DLC, etc., all that. So that's one thing. So um your question was what would be like the attraction for the console?
Yes, to buy a console, an Xbox console. I
Okay.
mean, like, let's assume the scenario. Microsoft decides to publish their first party games day and date on other platforms, or with 6 months later, let's say like something reasonable, 6 months later, first party games are going to be available in other platforms. This is an assumption. I'm going to add a disclaimer because I don't have any facts. We don't have any data to support this. We're just speculating here, guys. So Microsoft decides, okay, our first party titles are going to be available on all platforms. That's everywhere. We have saying that we're interested on getting more people and more screens playing our games. So our games, first party titles, will be available in every single platform 6 months after the release. So, okay, what is going to be the main driver for a consumer to buy Xbox consoles?
Okay. Here's the honest answer. Some people might not like this, but the truth is, as the company, like this is what they're probably gonna offer you. But this is my opinion. Okay. You're gonna have the option to subscribe to Game Pass on PC. You have that option. You got the cloud option. You have the console. That's your incentive. You buy the console for Game Pass. You save money. If you don't like that option, you can go to another platform. But guess what? You're still gonna probably buy Xbox games. Like they have three major publishers. Like so it's most likely that you're gonna buy some of their games. And at the end of the day, I don't think they care if you buy their console or not. Like let's be honest, like they're not making profit on it. What they care is that you're playing their games, you're buying their games, or you're subscribed to their service. Like it or not, that's the truth.
Okay,
It's a
so
business.
playing with that argument, what you're saying is what is going to happen is that Microsoft is going to be a full third party publisher. It's going
No,
to
that's
become a
that's
third
not
party
that's
publisher.
that's not what I'm
Right.
saying. No.
And they're going to still be building consoles and selling consoles just for the hardcore fans. It's going to be a commodity. But they're going
Well,
to put their games, their entire catalog, in other platforms.
well,
Okay,
here's the thing that I mentioned before earlier. We're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. They're going to make an app. So you're gonna have an app, just like you have Netflix, just like you have HBO. That's what they want to have. When you turn on that TV, they want that app, that Game Pass app, to attract you enough that takes you away. Because right, they didn't lie when they said that they didn't think Nintendo and PlayStation was competition anymore. Because this is what they're thinking. They want to get to all those millions of players. They don't care if you're a hardcore player or not. They just want you to
Well, they
somehow
they literally
play.
came out and said that they wanted to target that 2 to 3 billion
Billion,
gamer
billion. I
number.
said million. My bad.
That's it.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
actually a conversation I'm having in the chat right now with someone is like they aren't targeting just Xbox at this point in time. Like they're looking at a bigger picture. They're
So
looking at diversifying the portfolio and making it more feasible for future.
yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, like, why? And so, why do you think that there is so many resistance to embrace the idea of Xbox becoming a full third party?
Because
So,
just
what's
like
the resistance?
there's a
because
lot of
just like,
sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Plume.
I, the reality is the resistance we see online on social media is a small amount of just hardcore fanboys. The average consumer could not give two shits where Xbox games are. I can guarantee you that. The average person does not care. But
So
what we see online is
Yeah.
a small
You,
percentage.
you,
so
oh, sorry.
Plum Sour Silent. This question is directed to you. So you wouldn't care if Xbox actually becomes a third party?
Ask out real quick. Let me add this real quick, just so you have a little content. Like, I don't know if you know who's Mint Blinks is. I think Mint Blinks. I don't know if I pronounce it well, but he's probably like the biggest Halo Infinite like content creator. And he made a video talking about, you know, possibly the games going to PlayStation and Halo Infinite going to PlayStation. If you scroll down to the comment section, which is probably all like Halo, you know, full fan, most of the comments, if not, yeah, most of the comments, they see it positive. They're like, oh, more players, more people to play it. So if you and the same, you go to like the Sea of Thieves community and you look through the chat, people are enticing this. Like, they're excited about it. But what
No,
happened? You go to Twitter and you see the fans, the Xbox fanboys, and all that. That's, you know, it's a different circle, and
yeah,
it's a minority.
but listen, personally, I'm asking this question because I'm questioning myself as well. So this is an exercise that goes in two ways.
Yeah,
I'm asking the question, but I don't have an answer. But I have an emotional answer to this.
Is
Even
Sorry, go ahead. No, sorry, I thought you were.
yeah, so I'm bothered with a future without an Xbox console and just having PlayStation and Nintendo as the main console. And I'm talking about consoles because consoles are the most affordable way to play video games today. A
yeah. That
PC, a capable PC up front, it's really expensive. It's an important investment up front. So we are living in a world right now where people are embracing gaming more than ever, and consoles are a good way to continue promoting gaming values and promoting these hobby and getting more people involved in gaming, building this community in general. I'm not talking about brands. I'm talking about people that you can find in the street and you can talk about a video game just like you talk about a movie. So the adoption, the widely adoption is becoming through consoles initially. I'm not talking about mobile uh, yet, but I'm bothered by with a future without seeing Xbox as a console, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have an emotional attachment to the brand because that was the first console that I got with my money. So when with my first salary, what I did was buying an Xbox console and playing Batman Arkham Asylum. That was my memory. So I have an emotional attachment to the brand. Even when today, I'm going to clarify, I don't own an Xbox console, but I still support Xbox. I'm paying for PC Game Pass.
Yeah, but the sad truth is, ask up that unfortunately, it's not only Microsoft that's going that route.
Yeah, it's gonna be
PlayStation's going the same way. And like I said, I also think Nintendo is going to eventually do it. It's going to take
the,
longer to Nintendo because, you know,
Nintendo's in a very unique spot though when it comes to their hardware and software. They just have, if you look at, so we're talking about exclusive sell consoles. The numbers don't say that exclusive sell consoles. Like we've seen those numbers. They've been published. We see that on PlayStation, on Xbox, it is a minority of people that actually buy the exclusives and play those consoles. We've seen years of last year, 2023, PlayStation had Spider-Man 2. It's the only first party game, big one that came out. They sold insane amount of PS5s. I can guarantee you at the end of 2024, without a big major first party game coming from PlayStation, they're going to sell a ton of PlayStation 5s. 2022, Xbox Series X and S sold well. They had no first party games. So I think there are like, if you, let's say there's no exclusives. Okay. So people there's never been exclusives. Okay. People have been in ecosystems for many generations now. They're going to go and buy the console where their friends are at. And the thing that Phil Spencer said, that although Xbox has a lot of corpo speak and they try to push narratives onto people, the thing that Phil Spencer said about the digital catalog absolutely rings true. That most people, majority of people that are in an ecosystem are not going to abandon thousands of dollars and hundreds of games that they already own just because there's an exclusive that they want to play on a competing platform. So Xbox, they sell what, 50 million or so? I don't think Xbox is just going to abandon 50 million customers. I know that's not 100 million. I know that's not a PlayStation or Nintendo number. It's still a lot of customers, and it's still a lot of people that are paying into that ecosystem on a daily basis in terms of store purchases, in terms of Game Pass, in terms of buying just everything through the Microsoft Store that they're not going to abandon, at least for another generation. But after the next generation, will we even have consoles besides another Nintendo console? Who knows? Like, we don't know that future, but as of right now, there's just no way that the Xbox console is going away for at least another 10 years, I would say, at the very least.
But don't you think that a future just with an app that you can stream your games?
Yeah, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I mean,
but
do you think
future.
that that's a yeah? But do you think that that's a? I mean, like, we cannot treat video games like a movie.
Hey,
There's a level of interaction that is going both ways. A video game is a piece of digital entertainment that you cannot compare with music or movies.
I'm with you. I'm a physical gaming guy. Like, I have a large physical collection of games, and I don't like the digital era. I'm a dinosaur in that sense. I have to accept it, though. It's just the reality. And Xbox is going to be probably the first one to go all digital, which to me is a turn off to the ecosystem more so than anything else. But I'm still going to be there because I have so much attachment to it. I have so many games in it and everything. But yeah, I agree with you. It's I don't want that stuff to disappear ever.
I have a second scenario for all of you. What if the future is? I mean, like, I was saying Sour. I was telling this to Sour.
Can you hold that real quick? Let me real quick respond to this. Hold on, just a second. Let me put it here. All right, we have a $5 super chat from Mr. John Dark, and he says, "When you watch movies, do you love the box you're watching it on, or you love the platform you watch the movie?" Also, Cypher, come to Nintendo. Ask us a pony.
Dark, I'm already in the Nintendo ecosystem, and my Nintendo does a really good job at holding my door
come
open.
on, man. Don't do that to Nintendo Switch, bro.
Hold on. Let me make sure everyone can see that real nice. See that? Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's
he photoshopped
great.
that.
No, the only thing I photoshopped in that picture. No, I'll be 100% transparent because again, I mentioned transparency. I'll be transparent. Only thing I changed on that picture was I fixed the door because there were a couple spots where the paint got messed up. That's the only thing I changed on that door. So you just go ahead and accept that thing serves one of my needs. One of my needs is keeping the door open.
Hey, that thing is going to soon be the greatest selling door stopper of all time.
Yeah.
And I could give two shits.
Oh man! By the way, everyone that's watching, if you like the conversation, please hit the like. Please share, subscribe if you're new. Ask up. I'm waiting for that question.
Oh yeah. So recently, Plume Silent. I was chatting with Sourblow a couple days ago. We were something that I was telling him is that the Nintendo Switch opened a new path for gaming and how we consume these video games. They did something really well, and other big companies are trying to simulate what they did. And I'm talking about hybrid consoles. So now we're living in this year. How many handheld PCs do we have? We have the Steam Deck. We have the ROG Ally. We have the Lenovo Go. I believe MSI is announcing one. We have the One X Player. We have the here. Mr. Dark can tell us because he owns more devices. But there's a lot of options.
The Steam Deck,
the Neo, exactly. So I have owned like two of them. I have a Steam Deck. I have my Nintendo Switch, and that has changed in my experience. That has changed how I consume these video games. So I mostly most of my time I'm playing on my Steam Deck or my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Lately I've been playing on my PC primarily, but I mean like that has been changing like my perspective about owning a PlayStation 5. I mean like I'm gonna take the dust off just because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming. But now in the last week, we heard a rumor. I don't know, Plume, if you noticed this. I believe it was an article from Xbox Era or Windows Central where they were reporting that supposedly Xbox was in communications with Intel and Nvidia, and they were prototyping about potentially building their own handheld PC with their own custom operating system. Actually, it was this is an important piece of information because this is a fact. Phil Spencer liked that tweet. So we also noticed that the PlayStation, Sony released the PlayStation Portal that was like an MVP for something that now there's a rumor that they're working also in a handheld PC. So let's talk about the future where these consoles are going to evolve to take more like this hybrid approach, like just like the Nintendo Switch. How do you feel with that future, and how that could translate for the Xbox community if Xbox decides to embrace that approach and build an hybrid console that you can you can play handheld or you can dock it and have an output on TV?
For
Yeah.
me, I love the idea. I love the idea. I love my Switch. Unlike Silent, I play games on it. Um, Honestly, I play my Switch mainly. I know I'm like in the minority. I play mine mainly on docked, but I do take it out, and I just like being able to take with me. But I love the idea of Xbox doing it, and I think it's a very smart move for Xbox to make a hybrid console. And the other thing, I think they were also saying they may be giving the option of an at-home console, but I think the hybrid console is very smart based off of their strategy and their just ecosystem thing. I mean, they want people to be able to stay locked into that ecosystem wherever they go. So if they can build something with like the a decent battery life, I think that's one of the most important things as we get forward and improve on these mobile handheld PCs. Because like, sure, they're handheld PCs, but you can't really go anywhere with them because they die so fast, right? Like if you're playing a big AAA game, they die in like an hour and a half, 2 hours max. So it's just like if they can improve on that and have it so it's actually portable, bring it with you, take it on the bus and everything. You're locked into Game Pass, give you an option to download all those games from Game Pass before you leave and then be able to play them offline. You don't have to connect, your account doesn't need to connect, stuff like with Netflix where you can download your movies before you go out. I think it'd be a very, very smart move for them. So I am hoping that is what the future of Xbox has for us, which is like a Switch style hybrid console, at least as one option,
Mm-hmm.
and then give the hardcore people, I'd buy both personally, but give like all the hardcores that want the most powerful thing, a box as well, for a different price.
Excellent. To answer William, what's the point of to an Xbox hybrid if all games are on Nintendo and PS5? So there is a main. I mean, like there is something that happens with these handheld PCs, William. It's that they open possibilities. You have many choices, and you are not tied to the brand. I mean, like imagine this. Imagine an efficient handheld PC with a dock from Microsoft. You are going to have available Game Pass, playing Game Pass games natively in your handheld PC, so you are not connected all at all times on internet. They could open the door also for Steam, for Ubisoft, for other launchers to promote their apps there. Because I mean, like that's part of the philosophy and the motto that Phil Spencer has been promoting for years: play everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. So I believe like I believe more in the potential of Microsoft adopting and embracing this approach to consume video games because it opens a door for all of us as gamers. So I would be more than happy. I own an Steam Deck, and I love the experience of downloading from the launcher. But I mean, like, I would more than happy to have available a native Microsoft or Xbox handheld PC where I can play my Game Pass games there, and being able to also download games from other launchers. So I can have a subscription with obviously Ubisoft Plus. I can have a subscription with EA, whatever the name is, EA Plus as well. I mean, like, the EA has their own options, and Xbox has an opportunity where they can open that door for gamers. And I strongly believe that a device with these characteristics can be widely be adopted by many people. So I don't think that, I mean, you can wear the colors that you want, but I mean, it would be that attractive. How much a Nintendo game cost right now in
60, I think.
US?
$70.
70, 60?
Wait, there's 70 now? No, there's
Pretty
60, I think. Most of them.
Wasn't Zelda 70?
I mean,
Was
it's
it?
between that range. It's between that range. I mean, like,
All I know
it's
is my
60 at least.
absurd Canadian dollars and
Oh, that's right. Yours
But
is,
I mean, like,
yours is different anyways.
listen, a handheld PC, I mean, it's an I mean, provides you an experience where you are gonna be fully engaged with the game, no matter where you at home. You are not tied to the same spot to play your video games. You could be at your home, at your bed. You can be in your couch, in your living room. You can go and take a trip and bring up your handheld PC. So it opens a possibility to experience this like nobody else has done this before. I mean, like, the Nintendo Switch is amazing because I love the Nintendo Switch just because it's efficient. The battery lasts for like
yeah, that's the
4 hours. It's the
Very
main
minimal
like,
hardware.
I love that. And the Nintendo Switch helped me to understand that I don't need a 4K resolution. I don't need to play my video games at 60 frames per second. I don't care about that. I just play the game and it's fun and that's it.
Yeah.
To-
I've always wondered about that too, because I don't care that much about the insane graphics, the resolutions and frames per second, stuff like that. Stuff doesn't really affect if I'm going to enjoy a game as much as for some people. So I've always wondered, is that like something that people just today, or is that just like if you've been playing games all the way back when you were literally playing 8-bit and 16-bit games, is that kind of something that just grows with you where you're just okay with shittier graphics? Like Pokemon on the Switch, right? Like the game literally looks like a PS2 game. And how many copies did that sell? And I'll be honest, I've played Pokemon Scarlet and I enjoyed it.
Guess what I'm playing right now on my Nintendo Switch, Plume? Have a guess what I'm playing right now on my Nintendo Switch.
What are you playing right now on your Nintendo Switch?
Yes.
I'm guessing Pokemon.
Are you playing? You're playing? Okay. Okay.
I'm playing Pokemon Arceus.
Okay,
You know why?
that one was great
Arceus,
too,
yeah. So you know why? Because I was playing Palworld, and playing that game made me to value the experience of a Pokemon game on the go.
Yeah.
So I'm playing. I mean, when I'm not online or my PC, I'm playing my Nintendo Switch right now. I'm continuing playing Pokemon Arceus. I want to get the Pokédex fully completed.
Yeah. No, man, I spent a lot of hours in that one too. But it's a good point too. Like the battery life thing is the biggest thing, and this what I think is, did the Steam Deck revitalize this handheld gaming market? Because that thing, if that never came out, will we be having all of these PC manufacturers trying to make all of them? So
nope, we wouldn't.
100%. I mean, like, but I mean, like,
would we be hearing rumors of the possibility that Sony was going to get back into doing a portable again? No.
I heard the rumor.
There were a rumor, yeah.
Yeah,
that is a rumor.
Yeah, there's a rumor that they're planning on trying to get back into it too.
And actually, the PlayStation Portal, I saw that console as an MVP for. I mean, they're trying. I mean, they don't want to fully invest because they had the case with the PlayStation Vita, but I mean, like they're testing the market. But I'm pretty sure they're working on it.
I would imagine they are, because realistically, it's just like It's just like when you see these different game genres that come out, right? Like you see a battle royale,
Yeah.
everyone freaks out, makes a battle royale.
Yeah.
We've started seeing these hardware,
Exactly.
these like portables and stuff come out. They've gone nuts. Like ROG Ally was what, $700 for the top
Yeah.
tier,
Crazy
Yeah.
expensive.
and it still sold like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's people have shown that they're interested in doing this, and again, it goes back to what you were talking about too, right? The ability to have these different launchers and play these different things. Like if I wanted to right now, I could pull out my ROG Ally, I could play God of War, and then I could bounce over and I could play on Game Pass, or I could play something on Steam. I could play Command and Conquer on Steam if I want. You have the ability to access those different things on these different mobile offerings that are out there, and that's huge. Like for folks like us that want to have that flexibility, that agile nature of being able to bounce back and forth between different systems or whatever, it's there, and that's great.
Yeah,
And
that's an exciting thought. Honestly, I mean, like that makes me to be excited about a potential future like that one. I mean, that as a gamer, I would definitely go down that road. Sorry, Plum, I
no,
interrupted you.
I was just gonna say, and one thing, I tweeted this out the other day, and in terms of like the PC handheld market, if Microsoft just makes a custom OS that isn't Windows that you have on all
They
the other
have it.
ones,
They have it.
okay, yeah,
They
just
have
throw
the
that on
Xbox
exactly
OS. They
because
have the operating system.
yeah, because Steam OS, like on my Steam Deck, I have ROG Ally, I have a Steam Deck. My Steam Deck, it's just like when I go try to use Windows on the ROG Ally, it's not good at all.
Hands
It's just
down. Yes.
no good.
Yeah.
They need to get away from that. All these PC handhelds need to just get out of that. Get somebody to build a beautiful launcher. I know that there's like the Armory crate on ROG Ally, but it still launches into normal Windows. So
Yeah,
Xbox has a
it's
huge opportunity here to
I'm
like make a
100% with
beautiful
you.
OS. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100%
it's
with you.
okay, but it could be so much better.
Yeah.
I think you guys probably are on the same page with me on this. I know Sour is because we've had this conversation, but even just because I love my Ally, don't get me wrong, but the update system on that thing is stupid. To have to go into like the Armory crate to get your updates, to have to go into Windows Update to get updates, to bounce all over the place to get your updates instead of it funneling
Yep.
it right to one source is stupid. Like I'm sorry, but that is something that should be fixed
PC
because
gaming.
that shut up.
I don't feel it. I don't feel like it's that, but
It's
you know,
it's not as
it's fine.
bad as it was when the system first came out, but dude, if you remember the conversations we had when we first got our allies, I couldn't play games because I was missing one update, and I couldn't figure out where the hell the update was
Yeah, at the
because
beginning
they
when you
did
don't
not
know,
specify.
yeah, because they did not. Yeah,
Yeah,
but once you figure
and
it
it's
out,
gotten better.
it's not that bad.
But
Yeah.
But listen, what Plume was saying is 100% truth. I mean, like I used to own an One X player, so I got the One X player in that time when the Steam Deck got released and you couldn't find it. Actually, as a funny and side note, I got a scam in eBay trying to get an Steam Deck from a third party vendor that how do you call
That
these
sucks.
guys that are reselling things?
Scalpers.
Scalpers.
Yeah, from a scalper. So I got scammed in eBay. Dark knows this because I was talking to him. We were chatting at the moment. So I got the One X player. It came from China, I believe, and it came with Windows 11. And yes, I had fun with it, but I mean, like I never could engage with that experience of having Windows. I mean, like I'm a software developer. I work with Windows all time. I have a gaming PC. So I know how to set up the thing, but I mean, like it feels weird. The operating system wasn't there. And then when I got the Steam Deck, just the operating system, the Steam OS, like
That's nice.
I know that it's a PC that is running Linux, but I don't need to go to the desktop. I don't need to connect my thing to a monitor and configure things. It's just hit download from my library and that's it. I'm playing. I love that. And I believe Xbox already has an operating system ideal for this. They have the Xbox OS that is based is really based on the Windows kernel. That's using Windows kernel. So they already have the flavor to have an operating system. They have the operating system for a system like this one. Now,
Uh,
Now, I wanted to add something real quick. Um, like the handheld idea, it's definitely nice, and I do see, more people are more interested into playing into handheld, but something that I do see also I see it's happening, and we're already seeing glimpses of that. Rachel kind of mentioned that there's ARM devices coming out, but there's phones with using the ARM technology also that are going to come out, and I feel that that's another reason why they're going to push for an app. Phones. How many people own a phone? Like everyone owns a phone. You even see 8-year-old kids that owns a phone. And unfortunately, phones take away a large majority of people's time. And if they can have
the,
an app, they can put it on every phone. And sure, not you're not gonna like that experience, and you're probably gonna want like a beefier handheld, or you're gonna want to play on your PC or on a console. But the majority of people are not gonna care. Like Plume
yeah,
said,
we're
at the
talking about that generation of
yeah,
gamers that are growing up with a mobile phone in their hands.
yes,
Obviously, we are not part of that generation. I mean,
we,
like, I've tried. I mean, like, once I downloaded the live service, like Saint Seiya, something like that, and I spent like $3,000 in that freaking game. But I mean, like, I have tried. I mean, it's not for me. I mean, I'm not in that generation,
yeah,
so I'm
because
not that market.
these companies, the way they kind of like operate, they don't target like us anymore. They target the upcoming generation. Like
That's true.
Plume, for example, he's a wrestling fan like I am, and he sees all the time he probably has seen this all the time, the TV ratings and all that. And what matters more is the young like teenagers. Like that's what people look at, and that's what like all company target, like the upcoming generation, because they know if they can hook the upcoming generation, then they're set for the future.
Yep. We're old. We're dinosaurs now compared.
we
Uh,
are irrelevant.
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just get
Exactly.
a PC. You should get a PC. If you feel obsolete and old, just get a PC.
I
Yeah.
I'll give you an example too. And this talks to that, right? Because you look at these kids are playing on phone and stuff, and it's a thing. My son, I literally we were sitting in the room together and he had the option to play Pal World on the TV. What was he playing on? He was playing on his little like 9-10 inch tablet with a Bluetooth controller connected. Why? Because he can just carry it around with him wherever he goes. He doesn't have to be tethered down, anything like that. Like that's what they look for. People where they can get you, and they
Yeah.
can get you anywhere you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Those are the people they want,
But
Yeah,
and
Plume
that's
also
the
agree.
new gen.
mentioned earlier, like, um, you know, like if you think about it, like all the old games we used to play. Like for example, one of my favorite games, Perfect Dark in the N64. That ran at what, like 16 FPS, and I had such a blast with that game. I played so much, but at the moment, you're not thinking about, oh, how many frames is this? What's the resolution? You're just thinking about having fun. And the majority of people, they think that way. Unfortunately, now with social media and people that are like into social media, that's where you kind of see more the whole like resolution, the whole 120 FPS, and you kind of want to have the best. And but at the end of the time,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is about enjoying
So
gaming.
now that we are in this realm, let's talk about a little bit. I know we're almost on top of the hour, but that's this.
Yeah,
I believe this is an important subject because it's gonna be part of the future that we need to embrace cloud gaming. So cloud gaming is an important arm to silent. I'm that guy that you just texted in the chat. Uh, um, so
You saw
something
nothing.
that yeah, so something that is important and out of the FTC that was a core topic in the trial was cloud gaming in the presence of uh, Xbox on that market now that is going to take the majority of the games they have an important portion of this. So um, with cloud gaming, I believe the adoption of gaming is going to increase, and this is everything that we have been talking about: an embedded app that you can download in your TV or your mobile phone is going to be powered by cloud gaming. However, I have two observations about cloud gaming. So the first one, the the power. I mean, like the career for the most powerful console is over. That's not the game. I mean, like that is going to be, I believe, for the ones who like to play a 4K experience with the best graphics ever and impressive graphics. I believe we are going to become like a niche for not just Microsoft. I'm talking about PlayStation. Eventually, I mean all platforms. So I believe that career by to have and launch the most powerful console is over, which is kind of sad because that was driving a lot of innovation actually.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, However, what makes me wonder is now publishers and developers. I read a comment about this. No, not so much. I mean, like a couple minutes ago. I didn't remember who made the comment, but games are going to be more optimized to run on their less powerful console, and I believe there's going to be a switch between in the development division from publishers across the world where they're going to be focusing more on producing fun games rather than the best looking game. And these best looking games like movies and things and storytelling and all that, that is going to become a niche.
Well, so they've always had to develop for the lowest common denominator anyways, right? So that's we've always kind of had that, but like you said, some of the hardware we've seen over the last decade, well, I guess not the last decade, but the last like 7 or 8 years, when we've seen these things, like they were trying to push the hardware, trying to push more of the tech, make it more advanced, make it more visually appealing. And yeah, I mean the thing is like we look at this and what's the reason as to why we needed to have these like super high resolutions pictures and like images and gaming and stuff. It's because we kept getting bigger and bigger screens. So the sooner you like as soon as you play a game on like 480p or 720p on a massive screen, it does not look good.
Yeah.
Like you play something at 4K or 1440p and it looks good because there's enough pixels there to make it look visually good. Like it doesn't look like there's a compression issue. Um, I think that's the benefit that these portables have, right? Is you're talking targeting 1080p. You don't need more than 1080p for that size of screen. Like it's perfectly fine for what you're playing. Anything that I've played on there when I've been playing on my ROG Ally looks just fine. I think because we did see a lot of this, we started to see people they weren't trying to focus as much on the resolution as they were some of the effects, the ambient occlusion, some of these different effects that you could do, the anisotropic filtering, stuff like that. A lot of those effects when you're at 1080p, like if you can crank a 1080p or a 1440p game with all of those effects, it looks really good compared to a 4K game because you're
Agreed.
utilizing more of that functionality instead of just the resolution, right? And so it's like it's not necessary on a screen that small. So I do think,
Oh,
like you're
and
saying, as it shifts more with these portables coming out and stuff like that, and them focusing on the lowest common denominator, yeah, they probably aren't going to try and push the high resolution tech as much because it's like it's kind of like what I guess like minimal results.
Yeah, and there is something that also it's happening, and it's that Nvidia and AMD, they're making huge improvements and innovations in terms of power consumption and also
Mhm.
sampling technologies. So
Yes.
they're using AI to scale up your games, and they look really crispy with the less powerful GPU. So that happened recently with the 3090. That was a beefy GPU that consumes that you needed to have a substation next to your apartment to run a PC with a 3090. It's just a beefy GPU that consume a lot of power, but now you can have a less consuming and more efficient GPU like the 4070 and play 40K games, just enabling DLSS in
Yes.
performance mode, and looks amazing. Looks even better to anything that you put in a console right now, Series X or
Yeah.
PlayStation 5. I mean,
Eh,
there's nothing compared to that experience.
And
So
that was something they were talking about bringing to the consoles too. That was something where they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to get that type of functionality here," because those were a couple things they were actually kind of pushing going into this last generation. Is one, we can do this and we can do it with less powerful hardware. So the hardware you have is way more than enough. But the other thing was also I forget I forget the tech that they were calling it, but basically they were able to reduce the size, and once it got to your system, they basically like super sampled it to expand out that data. So it was a smaller download, but it still had all that content.
yep.
So
Yeah. I wanted to add to this and ask a question. I know you're not in favor of cloud gaming, but I want you to think this scenario, which I think that's going to be in the future. I do think games are also going to be developed in the cloud, and that's I think that's going to push gaming forward. And the reason why is the first thing is going to be more economical to develop in the cloud. It's going to be more accessible. And the other thing, there's going to be like no boundaries. Like for a developer, the first thing is they can start developing a game, but at the same time, they have to wait for the developer kit, and then they have to test it in the developer kit, and they have to kind of like scale it down to whatever, you know, they have to adapt the game to whatever the developer kit can handle. If they do it through the cloud, it's like you can just start building the game that you want and just scale it. It will be scalable to whatever device.
It's
So
gonna become easier to distribute. It's gonna be
yeah,
easier. It's gonna become
but
easier to
but,
publish.
but at this yeah, and at the same time, there's no boundary to it because like you just gotta as a developer. I think I wish we had a developer here in this
So
conversation
yeah,
because like
so
I feel like you can develop the game you want to develop,
once,
and then
not for multiple platforms. So you reduce some costs on development because you don't need to test
exactly.
in multiple platforms. Yes. So this is my take on this, and just clarification for Silent Plum and in the audience. I'm not that in favor with cloud gaming yet. I don't think that the technology is there yet in terms of hardware and software, because Unreal Engine 5 is a waste of power right now.
Yeah, we
So,
agree.
but I know that we need to embrace this future. I mean, like I cannot attach myself to an asset that I own when that doesn't happen with movies and music right now. I mean, everything is being streamed
Yeah, well, I,
now.
quickly, ray tracing is also. I feel like it's a waste of like yeah
Yeah.
resources,
So
yeah.
resources.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the my concern with cloud gaming right now comes from a really third world thinking way of think. There are two main challenges right now with cloud gaming. The first challenge is about scaling the infrastructure. So there is a lot of questions about how efficient a data center needs to be in order to run a cloud gaming offering globally. So you need to have replicates of data centers. So the networking technology is also not there yet. So assuming that you are going to be streaming a game in your phone, I mean, like, I'm talking about, I mean, from my Latino standpoint, because I mean, like, here in South America and in Latin America, I mean, we have only right now 4G and we're adopting 5G. So the technology, the networking technology is not there yet globally. So
The
in the US, it's
infrastructure.
different. I mean, like, you have fiber, you have a lot of things that you can connect, and you're gonna get the highest speed ever. So, but I think about more like a global adoption of the cloud gaming technology. It's not there yet for a global, approach. That's one thing. Now,
Yeah.
to the other thing, to the second point about how efficient and how economical, viable this is going to become. You're not going to save resources. You're going to move resources. So you're not going to save money by developing a game that is going to be cloud gaming friendly. You're going to move those resources. So yes, you're going to save some money on the development of the game because you just need to develop the game and test the game just for one single platform, and you know what type of target display you're going to hit. So, but you just need to build a game once, one engine that can be power friendly for cloud gaming. But you're going to save that money, but at the same time, you need to invest more in infrastructure. So it's not that this is going to be power efficient to the point that it's not going to consume any energy. It's remember that you are going to translate the power that you consume in a console today to a data center. And the problem with this is there's an environmental concern. Actually, you can find papers and their treatments, international agreements to be to have green technologies powered by green energy. So a data center that for cloud gaming is not the same data, doesn't have the same setup for a data center that runs a web API or a website or that streams music or movies. It's not the same kind of things. I mean, that's why I was saying, like, we cannot compare a video game with a piece of art like a movie because it's one directional. The video game is bi-directional. There is a response to your inputs. So that makes more complex the how the infrastructure that runs this technology needs. I mean, like, the requirements are different. So we're talking about networking. We're talking about power efficiency. We're talking about also thermals. That's the main concern, that a data center for this consumes so much power that, I mean, you need to have data centers under the ocean. Actually, just so you know, Microsoft was building a data center under the water. I mean, in the ocean, because you need to cool off these servers. You need to provide. I mean, like, the more heat you produce, the less performant it's gonna be.
Have you ever seen, so speaking of that, because you mentioned underwater doing the servers there and stuff because of the heat, the
Right.
constraints, right?
So, and we are
have you
hitting the planet.
Have you seen the ones, because they actually have some of those, like they do servers where they're actually in like mineral oil
Yep.
and stuff. So that way they do the same thing because of that heat
Correct.
dissipation. It's pretty cool.
Correct.
It's cool.
So it's not that I'm against about the concept of owning. I mean, like, I'm an old guy coming from a different generation. I grow up with games that I have a physical input in my hands. So I'm coming from a generation that experienced for the first time a vibrant controller. So all of you, we are part of the same thing. So I have, as an old man, I have my reservation, but it's more like a concern from a technical standpoint. Technology is not there yet for a global approach for adoption of cloud gaming. It's not there yet.
No.
All right, I think we should end it here, and we're gonna hold tower control for the following week. But let's land the plane. Let's start with Silent. Silent, how you been? Where can we find you? Oh my god.
I'm doing
Where
great.
can we find you,
Thanks.
Simon?
Well, okay, let me think. What week is it? Okay. So you can catch me on Twitter, probably being an ass goblin again, like usual for the last little while. But you can also find me on Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Broomstick's podcast, Mr. Broomstick and Friends, on Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So you can find me there. I don't think I have anything else that's scheduled this weekend. So hopefully you'll see me online playing some video games. Hopefully I will start making some better progress on Brotato, because as much as I'm enjoying that game, I keep getting kicked in the shins. Like anytime I choose a different character besides like the first character. So I might have to do what all those kids nowadays do and look up a YouTube tutorial and figure out what I'm doing wrong and why I suck.
Does it have co-op?
No, unfortunately. And that was one of the complaints my son had. He's like, if only this had co-op, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
He keeps getting bent out of shape because I'm stuck on Brotato and he's been playing Pal World, and he's like, we could play Pal World right now. I'm like, but Brotato. So yeah, so hopefully you'll catch me there. Like I said, catch me online if you want to play any games on Xbox or anything, or find me on social. Silent Cypher pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the fun things. But yeah, AskCab, thanks for coming to hang out with us, listen to our shenanigans, and a great conversation this evening. I think it was really cool.
Yeah, very great. Aska,
Thank you for inviting me.
Where can we find you, Aska?
You can find me in Instagram and X with and Twitch with Ascap Gaming. Don't get scared. I don't get that serious when I'm social network. I mean, I'm just getting fun. I'm more serious on the Xbox International podcast.
Nice. Plume, where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Plume Network for my daily gaming news show. Tomorrow morning we'll be trying to we'll be talking about the 2 debunked rumors that just came out today. I didn't debunk them. I just, I saw them. So that, plus a bunch of other stuff that's happened in game that does not surround these Xbox shitstorm, whatever we want to call it. But yeah, you can find Plume Network there, Plume Network on X, and like AskCab on X. I like to just kind of troll a bit. Sometimes I get a little serious, but generally I'm just trolling, and it's more not my serious stuff. So if you want my more logical, serious stuff, definitely go check out my YouTube channel. But to AskCab, thanks for stopping by. Great conversations today. I like where it went, and I like how we didn't yell at each other like a lot of people out there over the last week. So it's been a great show.
Wait, we need to yell at each other?
Sourblow.
Sourblow.
It's Louis when you need him.
Yeah. Well, you can find me personally in Twitter, Sourblow18, Xbox, Sourblow18. Of course, you can find me here Wednesday. Sometimes Friday, I do hang out with AskUp, Elvio, and also Eternal Shaddai and AskUp, and in Xbox International en Español. And the last thing I wanted to repeat again is next week is Valentine's Day, so we are going to take the week off, but we still got something for you planned. So we have an in-flight special. We have a special interview with someone. They're going to explain to us what is Copilot. Watch it. You might learn something. And you guys want to say anything else?
I have one more thing real quick. Sour, the next episode after we have our break with Valentine's is our 100th episode.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know if we have anything official to say at this point, but stay tuned because we've got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we have something planned, but I forgot to get the confirmation.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and not say anything right now, but just keep an eye out. You know where to find us. Keep an eye out on Twitter, all the places. We'll be announcing things as we get closer.
Congratulations on your 100th episode. Just a last comment. to the audience, please be patient and be mindful this Monday when Xbox, we got final confirmation of what is going on. So we need to embrace that anything that is going to be said is going to be for the better. So just be patient and don't hear trolls in internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like Crazy Lou always say, let's go, let's rock, and let's burn your Xbox. Yeah. Nah, just kidding. Take care, everyone.
You guys, take care.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.